Got vision and destiny. Add elemental, that's chemistry. All those heroes, that's infinity. It's endgame, that's
Yugi peoples, welcome to the commentary. Alright, so this one right here is my final match for this tournament against Salamangreat, and I am Yubel. This was my Yubel with Horus engine off in there. And yeah, my opponent's hand wasn't very strong, so I opened up pretty good. I do believe it just kind of sucks that, like, it feels like when I run the Horus engine, I always draw happy or something like that. Or I had times where, like, actually in this current build, I was only running one sarcophagus, so it just seemed like I would draw like Mseti and sarcophagus sometimes. So yeah, that's just bad player luck right there. But go ahead and summon out the Lotus. It's going to get imperned before I get the chance to tribute him off. But I am going to use the Nightmare Pain to go ahead and destroy him there so that I can add Spirit of Yubel from my deck to my hand. And yeah, I just kind of have a little bit of a plan here. Actually, no, I don't think there was too much I could do after that happened. But I did have the, the Mseti. So I was trying to decide what to go ahead and discard and to add here. We're going to go ahead and get that sarcophagus there, and we're going to be able to play that to try to get some things going and rolling here. We go ahead and draw off of our Mseti effect, and I do believe I discarded the Ash because yeah, my opponent didn't make any plays last time, but we did draw the Spirit, which was really nice. We're going to be able to activate that to go ahead and add the Dark Beckoning Beast from our deck to our hand. And unfortunately, I've already done my normal summon, so I can't do anything with that. But we are able to use the Spirit Gate discard to special summon out the Lotus, and then we'll be able to use the Lotus to special summon out our Spirit of Yubel, get our Eternal Favorite, and start adding some counters to our Mature Chronicle here. And now just trying to decide what else I can do on this turn. We go ahead and activate the first Sarc, and we'll be able to discard I'm pretty sure I discard the Beckoning Beast here. I was trying to decide because I only have one more spot left for spells and traps, which kind of sucks, but we're going to go ahead and send the Happy. We're going to summon out the Happy, summon out the Horus, and just trying to decide what I should do here because I don't have a monster for my Spirit of Yubel to crash into or anything like that. Nor do I have a way to destroy my Spirit of Yubel to be able to summon out Yubel so that I can like make my way to the giant train or something like that. So, you know, this is like one of those things that starts to show like inexperience with the deck, not really knowing what I'm doing in order to be able to, you know, find my way to get to lethal here. So yeah, we just end up going to the battle phase, attacking with those, and, you know, pretty much that's just what I have to do there. Then we're going to go ahead and use those two, and I was trying to decide if I should make the, Harbinger, or should I make the Monster Negate guy. He doesn't negate and destroy, which I don't think is like too much of a problem, but I also could just like you negate the spells and traps and different things that they make. But we end up going with the Photon Lord and having the Monster Negate there, and yeah, we just end up going with that. Then it'll go back to my opponent's turn. This is just asking, trying to figure out what everything does, what everything I have on the board does. And yeah, I just kind of feel like I should have had lethal in that game. I feel like I messed up somewhere. I'm not sure where or what else I could have done. I just feel like I kind of messed it up there. But, you know, I would have to like rewind it, look at the video like even closer or something to see what I could have did. So he gets the Fame Buffalo. The Buffalo starts to come out. He's going to be able to start making Salamangreat plays here. I think I was waiting till he ends up going into the whatchamacallit, the Messengelato, I believe it's called, to use the negate on my card. So he started doing like spinny things and stuff. And, you know, I don't have too much experience against this deck, but I know that like resurrecting stuff from your graveyard against most decks is pretty bad. So I'm going to go ahead and negate that there. but he's got this other spell card that I believe allows him to send one and special summon one or something like that. So he's still able to keep going and doing stuff. And yeah, there goes the SP Little Knight. He's gonna use the Little Knight's effect to go ahead and banish my what is it, my little photon lord there. Then he's going to activate the spell card's effect engrave to shuffle in 3 fire monsters, I believe, to go ahead and draw a card. They sure got a lot of draw power now. They're going a lot of things, a lot of new cards. Yeah, but I think like how its life points are and with like the way everything is and stuff right now, this just ends up being a win for me, because now since he wasn't able to get rid of the first arc and stuff, I can always just special summon back my M-Seti and my Happy whenever I'm ready to. And, unless he just goes and, decides to just activate the SP Little Knight, it'd be fine. But he goes ahead and negates my Nightmare Pain along with my Dark Beckoning Beast effect, because the Nightmare Pain is in the Imperm column. So we're just going to special summon out Happy, special summon out Horus, and we're going to go into the battle phase here and just be able to attack over it. And because of the damage that we had during turn 1, we just end up being able to win the game, attack directly with those guys right there. So yeah, unfortunately my opponent bricked game 1, even though I did have, 2 hand traps. So, I'm not sure like what they can do against 2 hand traps, or even if I would have activated the hand traps in the right spot, because I'm like very unfamiliar with this deck. But yeah, going into game 2, my side decking strategy, definitely leave in all 3 dibs, leave in Super Poly, because I know they're going to have plenty of fire monsters out on the board. And then I'm just not sure like how good their extenders are to be able to play through like normal hand traps. Like, if I just drew 1 Imperm or one Ash or something like that. So I decided to go with like the bigger high impact ones, such as, Super Poly and Nib for the most part. And then side out some of the, side out some of like the cross out and other hand traps that I wouldn't expect him to be playing or to have off in there. But I guess like the main thing is like, I still like to have mate cross out when I'm going second, just because it still stops hand traps. Ash is pretty hurtful to my deck. When you Ash on my Lotus, like as you can see, there's like ways to get around the Imperm and Effect Veiler, such as you saw in that last game, but like Ash on the effect kind of hurts like a whole lot. And so yeah, as you can see, my opponent starts off a whole lot better this turn. He's got the new monster. It's going to allow him to search and do things, and as you can see, like the hand trap that I drew ended up being Ash. So, from what I can remember playing against this deck, like I feel like I probably should have, I wanted to stop him from adding the field spell initially, but the way he activated the chains and stuff, I couldn't stop him from doing it. So now I feel like my other option is to stop the I keep saying Messengelato, but I think that's a Madolche monster, but the Mesa, whatever his name is, the Exceed monster that's going to try to special summon a fire from his deck. So now he's starting to do things. I couldn't say, I know it's, what's his name, Sunlight Wolf, but like I said, I haven't played against this deck too much. He's going to go ahead and activate that effect. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and Ash there, because I know that like most effects to be able to special summon from deck is like pretty crazy. You shouldn't allow them. But as you can see, he does have the cross out designator, which would have been fine if I actually had a second hand trap here, such as like Nib or Imperm or something like that. But unfortunately, we didn't have that. So now my opponent is free to just combo and do however he does. And he ends up doing like some pretty crazy stuff, because you see like Fire Princess and then some monster that puts another monster out on my board and then burns me for a bunch of damage and stuff like that. And then he's got the trap card that is an Omni Negate there, which kind of, well, not just kind of, but yeah, it does like really suck. And then, like I said, he's got the Fire Princess pop, and then I want to say, I can't remember exactly what the other monster did, but I know it was something crazy. But you see, what is that, Soul Charge for fire monsters, which for some reason they always have like Soul Charge, because they had Flame Veil Flame Veil had a soul charge or something like that too. So I guess they really like giving these fire decks soul charges, which, yeah. Imagine having a hero soul charge. But yeah, there goes the one monster I was talking about. It's going to summon this other guy to my side of the board. And then it's going to do stuff. And I end up like taking damage and stuff like that. Like, it was crazy. I was like, why am I dying for no reason? And I haven't even got a chance to play the game. But yeah, so it's like, I know he has a counter trap down there. He's got the princess. He's got, I'm not sure, can't exactly remember what the rest of his stuff did, but like trying to play into the turn actually ended up being like not good at all. As I go to activate my opening the spirit gates, he's going to go ahead and activate Twin Twister, get that off the board, which is actually like really strong against my deck because like, especially like if he waits till I go to flip up the Eternal Favorite, and then he's able to get rid of Eternal Favorite and the Nightmare Pain with just, you know, that card right there. And I'm pretty sure that like the way he was drawing and adding cards and doing things back and forth, that he would have like a pretty solid discard target for it. So now, as you can see, he ends up activating the trap card on my summoning bees. He's just like gonna let me start trying to do anything at all. The last thing I have is my sarcophagus, and I'm trying to decide like what I want to discard to try to be able to do things. And then this is like one of those things where, like, once again, inexperience with what I'm doing and the cards that I have ends up coming into play here. And I think what I did is like I ended up entering the battle phase after putting the Happy and the Horus into the graveyard. And my plan was to, you know, shuffle or to get back like Nightmare Pain and something else and be able to do something with the Happy effect by adding those cards from the graveyard back to my hand, since I didn't get a chance to, you know, like activate its effect or anything, since he did Twin Twister it. So, what is it? I was going to try to get them back with Happy, but I didn't realize, I don't know, I guess like the way I was thinking about it, I forgot that it has to be Happy that stays on the board while the other card leaves the board in order for me to activate Happy's effect. And what I ended up doing instead was dying my Happy into a monster. And then, you know, I was trying to activate Happy effect. I was like, wait, no, that's not the way it works. I'm gonna actually end up adding the having to send the opponent's card to the graveyard with M setting. So yeah, I completely messed that up. Had no idea what I was doing. We're gonna go ahead and make the Typhon there, but he's got the princess, and yeah, like I said, it didn't really matter. I kind of really messed that up with the difference between the Happy and the M setting effect there, so I kind of blow that. So yeah, fortunately, like the way things went inside this matchup, my turn one took entirely too long for me trying to decide and trying to find a way to lethal, and then in the end not actually finding a way to lethal. So like going into this final game here, normally I would have sided in things like Solomon Judgment and such, but yeah, what is it? I knew my opponent was going to go first. So, you know, I tried to side in as many hand traps and things as possible to go ahead and just end my opponent's turn as fast as possible. And yeah, I was just trying to think of what I could do. Well, nah, is that not what I did? I think I kind of messed up when I was side decking here, because I definitely should have left in like the Nibiru's and stuff like that. Oh no, I'm going first. So yeah, I wanted to leave cross out Designator off inside of there, just so, you know, basically my strategy was to try to hurry up and get to a way to fuse the fusion monster Yubel. That way I can just go ahead and burn my opponent for, you know, even if it ends up just being like 1,000 with the two of them, it'll be fine. So we start off with Mseti and Happy here. We're going to go ahead and grab our first Sark. We're going to be able to draw a card here. And my opponent has no responses, but unfortunately, the way my turn went, I didn't have anything with my Yubel engine. So yeah, we just end up making some plays like this, which I guess like this is probably like my fault for not having Vampire Lord inside of my extra deck, because then I could have used that to try to get to the Yubel engine instead. But yeah, we go ahead and go into Yama, and we'll use his effect to grab Shayama. But unfortunately, like I said, there wasn't like a lot that I could do. We go Shayama, discard it with the opening spirit gates to go ahead and bring out my Unchained Soul of Rage. And yeah, I just had no Yubel engine there, even though we did have the Super Poly. All we needed was some kind of Yubel monster in order to be able to burn him and win the game. But unfortunately, we don't get there. And time is going to be called. And I was actually like getting ready to pick up stuff after he activated the evenly match as well. But after the evenly match, I go ahead and leave out the Unchained Soul of Rage. That way, you know, he ends up being 2 interruptions after my opponent gets a second monster out on the board. And yeah, that way I can link with one of his monsters and then banish the other one with my SP Little Knight. And then, you know, even with Little Knight out there on the board, I'll still have another interruption with that Little Knight to get another one of his monsters off the board, because you know, even though he did evenly match me, I forgot that he could get all the way up to that Link 4 monster that would, or it's a Link 4 or Link 3 that would allow him to burn me for a bunch of damage. So now after he gets the second monster out on the board, we're going to go ahead and activate Unchained Soul of Rage effect to go ahead and link with his monster. And he goes ahead and change this card, which, you know, in hindsight, not paying attention, probably should have just went ahead and ashed that. But we're going to be able to banish, use that guy to link off. We're going to banish with that guy. He chains something which is going to allow him to special summon out this guy. And right here, I'll probably, well, I guess it didn't really matter, because I'm looking for when he goes to get the princess out there on the board, because I know she's the one that he needs to like be able to special summon another monster so he can climb up into the link things even higher. So just waiting to see how he's going to get up into that. And I just really wanted to wait for her to come out there, because I know he needs like a big link monster in order to get there. And we do still have the Ash in hand, which, like I said, I'm not completely paying attention and doing things the right way, because I should have asked when he activated that spell card. I think, what is it, Salamangreat of something, Circle. I think it was Salamangreat Circle or something like that. So yeah, like I said, he's still trying to see if he can burn me here. Man, evenly matched really hurts his deck also. And that's why I had the Solemn Judgments off of there. But I think it would have been better for me to go with Lancia, which I think like in the future, I'm probably going to go with Lancia instead of Judgment. Like, I mean, like the damage and big thing, I don't know. Lancia seems like, Judgment seems more versatile, but at the same time, Judgment cost me a lot of life points, and even if I had Judgment in that game to stop the evenly, I still would have lost. So yeah, as you can see, the fist bump there, because it ends up being a draw. But you know, overall, like I said, I'm winning. I'm learning how to use how to use the deck properly so that I can play it in the upcoming regional. And you know, if y'all got any tips to help me out, you know, if y'all been playing it a little bit longer and notice a play that I could have made, or some kind of way I could have got to the Yubel engine in that game 3 right there, y'all let me know. I appreciate everybody for staying a while to listen, and I will catch y'all on the next video.
My wingman, he come through, he level up, he go cool, he's shining out and popping too over 9K. That's a breakthrough. Be on top now. Here's a look at our world.